The Hollowbrook House stood at the edge of a small, sleepy town in rural America. Its colonial-style architecture and overgrown garden gave it an eerie charm. For years, the locals had whispered about its haunted history, but when the Johnson family moved in, they dismissed the stories as mere superstitions. John and Emily Johnson, along with their 2 children, Grace and Ethan, were thrilled with their new home. It was spacious, with creaky wooden floors and a grand staircase that led to a long, dimly lit hallway. Their friends teased them about buying such an old, spooky house, but they laughed it off, believing that old houses had character, not ghosts. The first night in the Hollowbrook House was uneventful, but as the days passed, strange occurrences began. Emily woke up to the sound of whispering voices in the middle of the night, only to find no one there when she investigated. John heard footsteps in the hallway when no one else was awake, and Grace swore that she saw a shadowy figure outside her bedroom window. One evening, as the family gathered for dinner in the cozy dining room, the temperature plummeted, and their breath formed frosty clouds in the air. The chandelier above their heads swung ominously, and the candles flickered as if something unseen passed by. John couldn't ignore the mounting evidence any longer. He decided to research the history of Hollowbrook House. What he found sent shivers down his spine. The house had a dark past. Decades ago, it was the site of a gruesome murder-suicide, and the spirits of the victims were said to linger in the house, seeking justice for their untimely deaths. The Johnsons realized they needed help, so they reached out to a local paranormal investigator named Dr. Elizabeth Foster. She arrived with her equipment and team, ready to uncover the truth. As Dr. Foster and her team began their investigation, they set up cameras and recording devices throughout the house. The atmosphere grew heavy as they delved deeper into the haunted history. They captured eerie whispers, unexplained shadows, and chilling cold spots. The climax of their investigation came one fateful night. Dr. Foster and John decided to conduct a séance in the very room where the murder-suicide had occurred. As they called out to the spirits, a malevolent presence made itself known. The room grew icy cold, and the furniture began to levitate. Emily, Grace, and Ethan huddled together in fear as the room descended into chaos. With sheer determination, Dr. Foster managed to seal the malevolent spirit back into the room, but she knew they couldn't stay in the house any longer. The Johnsons decided to leave Hollowbrook House, knowing they were no match for the restless spirits that dwelled within. As they packed their belongings, the house seemed to protest their departure. Floors creaked, doors slammed shut, and ghostly apparitions appeared in every corner. They fled, leaving behind the haunted house that had once seemed like a dream home. The Hollowbrook House stood silent and empty once more, its dark secrets buried within its ancient walls. The town's whispers about the haunted house continued, a grim reminder that some horrors are best left undisturbed.